Papa Squad, coming at you. Hello, everybody. It is Sunday evening. What is it? The 20th of February already. Um, we're going to listen to somebody, or a group, two guys, Phorced and Trey from 1994. This song is called Road to Recovery. This was another recommendation from someone, and just kind of randomly looked it up. I didn't want to do another Kendrick Lamar. I have a problem doing more recent music because it always gets a copyright claim against it, and then it takes like 2 or 3, 4 days to get released, and then nobody ends up seeing it. But anyway, there's a Kendrick Lamar song that I did the other day, he and Rihanna, Loyalty, which was great. You can't see it yet, but soon. So check if you're watching this after February 20th, 2022. And anyway, somebody had left a comment to listen to Phorced and Trey, and look this up. The record label that you're seeing here is not for this song. It's just a record label for a song of theirs called I Wanna Know off of their Out the Woodworks release, which must have been 94, 95, because this has a copyright of 94. But let's jump in here. I don't know much about this. I listened to a little bit because I wanted to see if this was actually the correct song, Road to Recovery, because the label on the picture says I Want to Know, and it is, or at least they have the lyrics, Road to Recovery, in here. Maybe somebody mislabeled the song. I'm not 100% sure. But this is what we're going to listen to. 5.5 minutes long, from 1994. It has kind of a jazzy feel, which I love. And let's just see how this whole song is, because I don't know much other than I listened for Road to Recovery. See, and once again, we get that whole hip-hop thing of just take some sample of some music that's interesting, that they like, that did something for them, and turn it into a hip-hop song, and I love it. I love mashup stuff. I love mixing things together. It's just fantastic, and it's fun because you can see how everything is influencing everything else, which constantly happens, right? Like, we don't live in a vacuum, and that's so true in music and really any creative endeavor, because everything is constantly influencing you, whether it's politics or whether it's local or national or international politics, or it's your love life, or it's the life that you live or that somebody else is living, or the fact that you love somebody, or like all of that stuff is what we end up using. We combine all of it and go blah, and it becomes music or a book or a poem or a piece of artwork or whatever. That's why so many people these days draw anime characters, right? Because anime has been so incredibly popular and has now had such a huge influence on American animation that I don't want to say that they're indistinguishable, but man, there's been so much back and forth. Anyway, I'm totally off subject, but really like that they're using this sort of sample here. My cat wants to go outside, so if you hear squeaking on the... Oh, now he's running away. Just love it. Just think it's great. I love this sort of thing.
It all started when I was 13 years of age. They locked me up inside of a cage because I decided to...
His rap right there is also fantastic because it comes in very relaxed, very, very... not necessarily confident. Relaxed and controlled. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly when he wants to come in. There's no strong punch on the words. It just... smoothly right in, and it's really a good choice.
Up inside of a cage because I decided to break and enter ring. Had all my fellas with me. We went inside and took everything. But little did I know I was on my way. down to the detention home for a short stay. And it never dawned upon me I was all alone, and meanwhile my whole crew was at home. But anyway, I hit the courtroom to see what I was facing. The judge let me out on probation, but he told me if he saw me back again, I'd pack up my gear and say goodbye to my family and friends. Cause where I be headed, there be no sunshine. Then he stressed he wouldn't tell me this but one time. I should have known that the judge wasn't joking with me. So now I'm on the road to recovery. To all the brothers in the pen, it's time to roll. Let's step on the road to recovery. To all the...
So it's it's funny again today to hear a song that so very much matches up with what we were listening to yesterday with Soto, Misfit Soto. This sort of idea of the story, right? The story he's telling us in this song is that he was young, he got together with a bunch of his friends, they broke into a place and stole everything, and then he got in trouble and went to stand before the judge, and now he's on the road to recovery. Like, you got to behave yourself or you're going to jail. And it's the same sort of thing, and I would not be surprised if what we hear him say here is basically something along the lines of, don't do this, like this is a bad idea. And it's just so funny to see that repeated over and over and over. I'll back up a little bit.
Road to recovery. To all the fellas on the farm, it's time to roll. Yo, let's step on the road to recovery. To all my peoples in rehab, it's time to roll. Let's step on the road to recovery. To all the brothers in the county, it's time to roll. It's time to roll, so check it. My first trip wasn't that hard, that's why I took it as a joke. I threw on my gear, then I broke back into my neighborhood, which was no good, but I didn't try to make it better. Instead,
I'm not 100% sure. I think this is a different rapper, and if it's not, definitely a different style to this rap, but I'm pretty sure it is, because this is a duo. But I like how the lines are being delivered here, too, a little bit harder. For some reason, I see straight lines in my head, but more definite on the note, more straightforward. My cat being crazy. More straightforward sort of rapping with a little bit more force behind it. And it's still good. I mean, it's very good, but it's a different style compared to what was going on earlier.
Added a lot more fuel to the flame. I got back with the fellas and continued the same. Sure, I went to school, but I wasn't thinking of passing. The only thing on my mind was cutting classes, and my negative behavior began to show more and more. My mother wants to know what for, cause I wasn't brought up in this manner, and she can't stand to watch her son in and out of the slammer for the foolishness. What will I do with your kid is the question. You didn't seem to learn your lesson, cause if you did, you wouldn't be back in front of me. That's what the judge said.
Back in front of the judge.
On the road to recovery. To all my brothers in the pen, it's time to roll. Let's step on the road to recovery. To all my peoples in the county, it's time to roll. Yo, let's step on the road to recovery. To everybody in rehab, it's time to roll. Let's step on the road to recovery. And everybody out there, it's time we roll. Yo, let's step on the road to recovery. They sent me to a facility for the older G's. In order to get into the swing of things, I had to see what the system was all about. I lay back and played that old innocent Boy Scout. Said what they wanted to hear, did what a brother had to do. Anything to get back with my crew. I got myself a trade, I even was a trustee. Yeah, the staff and the counselors, they loved me. They told me on the regular, my attitude was splendid. 2 years had passed and I'd been recommended to be released for my good behavior. I packed up my things one day and said, see you later. They gave me a ticket for a one-way trip on the Greyhound straight down 6-4 eastbound. Right off the bus, back into a new set with a new crew. So I'm a much bigger threat. We're hanging out late night, running another hit. Gee, I'm rusty, but I'ma shine up quickly. We're showing success, so I guess I'm back to par. But wait, there goes the red lights on a big white car. And at this point, yo, it's a hell of a foot race. I hate to give them their props, but it was a good chase, cause they caught me.
I like that. The little uh, whatever he said there, it was a foot chase or something like that. It was a good chase, but he kind of like rolled the words together a little bit. I love when people are able to do that really well.
This point, yo, it's a hell of a foot race. I hate to get back up state. I noticed the tears on my
My cat, I tell you, steps right on the keyboard.
mother's face. That's when I remembered I was out on the road. It's too late now, cause it's out of my control. My destiny lies in the hands of one man. Yo, my destiny lies in the hands of one man. I said my destiny lies in the hands of one man. That'll judge me. So now I'm on the road to recovery.
So I'm not a fan of that lyric. My destiny lies in the hands of one man who's going to judge me. No, it's in your hands. And again, I've talked about this a lot. It is a choice to do these things, but sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice. So I understand the lyric. He's saying, basically, this is what I know how to do, so that's what I do. And it gets me in trouble, and somebody else is standing to judge me because you're breaking the law. And yeah, I mean, but you chose to do that even if it was not something that you really had any other real choice. I'm not an ex-con. I'm not sure if he would have been considered a convict at that point. I don't know. But I know things aren't easy for them, so I definitely can understand how people go back into it, right? Like start doing that again, like whether it's robbing people or breaking into places. I guess that's robbing people. That sort of thing. So it's still a choice. I think the message could have been a little bit different here.
In the hands of one man, yo, my destiny lies in the hands of one man. I said my destiny lies in the hands of one man. That'll judge me. So now I'm on the road to recovery.
It's really a good sound. Nice change to the music here. So that's a saxophone, but that's a weird sounding saxophone. I wonder if they've altered the... Yes, be good. If they've altered the sound of it at all, because it almost has like a slightly electronic sound to it. If you listen, just listen to the saxophone and see what you think. Maybe I'm just making things up.
I bet along my travels. I send this one out to y'all. Stay strong and raise up. Peace, I'm out.
Peace, I'm out. Stop right at the end. Yeah, I like that song. As if you've watched for a while, I sometimes will talk about like where do you listen to this, and I think this is just a song you listen to anywhere. It's not really a party song, unless it's like a kind of a mellow hanging out talking to people song. It'd be great for that, like really good for that. It's a good driving song. It's just a good song. Not really a dance song, obviously. Just a little too reserved for that. But yeah, I like it. I like it quite a bit. It fits so much in the early mid '90s in terms of its style. That kind of jazz influence, the kind of simple beat layered over it or under it, however you want to say it. The lyrics themselves are very clear. I think that was also something that was very, very common at the time. Like it was so much about getting your message across, and really, again, this is one of those groups that I hear and I'm like, there's absolutely no reason I couldn't have heard this right alongside all the other music I listened to in the 90s because it's good. I like it. Good song. Really a good song. I like that this was produced by Mr. Diesel. I'm sure he's probably somebody who's known in the biz, but it's a good name, so Mr. Diesel. That was, what? Phorced and Trey with the song Road to Recovery. Boy, that reminded me of being on the radio back in the day. There you go. Thanks very much. Give me some more suggestions. I got so many suggestions in the last couple of days, especially additional tracks for Misfit Soto, which I'll probably do some. It'll be a while. I don't like to repeat too often the same artist, but we'll get some more stuff soon. There you go. Have a good President's Day. That's tomorrow. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Papa Squat. Check it out. Please like, subscribe, and share. Oh! We're over 700. Oh my god. 700 people get notified when I send out these videos? I'm sorry. Have a good night.